Okay, so this is math 303. Now I want to look at the operator del. This is an operator. It is a Greek alphabet, nubla. This is nubla. It is operator del. We use it in vectors. What does it mean? Vector and differentiation, or vector analysis. Del x plus del y plus del z. But it's going to be having unit vectors. This is with I, this is with j, and this is with k. So if we had a vector that is a function of x, y, and z, this is a function of x, y, and z. Let us say it is x squared, y cubed, z squared. That is this function. So what is del phi? What is the del of this function? That is what we want to look at. Whenever we have something like this, what is del phi? Please note that this one is not dot product. It is just del. When we start multiplying, when we start differentiating, this is what we'll do. We'll write del x. I can put my y here as well for things to be fine. And j and k. Let me put them at the front. So del x, I'll bring the whole function. You know, this is the same as del x of phi plus del x of phi, del y rather, of y of phi plus k del z of phi. That is partial derivatives of phi. This is going to be a total derivative of phi. We'll be differentiating phi partially. So this is now I del x times what is phi? X squared y cubed z squared plus I j del y times that same function x squared y cubed z squared plus k del z times the same function x squared y cubed z squared. Now this is differentiates this function x squared y cubed z squared with respect to x. That is the meaning. We're only differentiating with respect to x. That means we will treat this y and z as numbers. Assume they are 3. You know, if this is 3 raised to power 3 and this is 4 raised to power 2, you will just write them out because they are constant. So we are treating them as constant. So let's treat them as constant. Y cubed z squared. Then differentiate the x. That is 2x, Abi. 2x. We've treated them as constant. We continue going. We are going to treat y as a constant because we are going to treat x and z as constant because we are differentiating with respect to y. So let's say we have here now x squared is going to be a constant, z squared is going to be a constant. Then I'll have y what? Differentiate y cubed. That is 3y squared plus, we keep going for the, always remember your unit vectors. I is here, j is here, and k is here. Multiplied by the derivative with respect to z here. We're going to treat x and y as functions, as constants. S squared, y cubed. Differentiate z squared, that is 2z. That means del phi is equal to 2xy cubed z squared I plus 3y squared x squared z squared j plus 2z x squared y cubed, or 2x squared y cubed z k. That is del phi. We've just done, we call this thing the operator del. It is also called grad phi. That is another name it is called. So when we are doing calculation, we just call it del. But it's a Greek alphabet called nubla. So after this now, let us try to look at one thing called divergence. Pause. Okay, let us say our phi is equal to 3x squared y minus y cubed z squared. Find del phi, that is find grad phi. That's the question here. What is the operation del? Operator del. Operator del is I del x plus j del y plus k del z. So this is I times, so phi will be what? Everything multiplied by phi, Abi. So let's put our phi in here like this. That is I multiplied by del x of phi, that is 3x squared minus y, 3x squared y minus y cubed z squared plus j del y of 3x squared y minus y cubed z squared plus k del z 3x squared y minus y cubed z squared. Here, remember, we're going to differentiate with respect to x. This is an example of total derivative or total differential. So let us differentiate with respect to x. 3x squared y. Y is going to be treated as a constant, right? Write your y out as a constant. Always remember your I. 3x squared, differentiate it, 6x. That's not over. These are constants, Abi, and they don't have any x with them. If you add 3x squared plus 3, how will you differentiate it? 6x plus what? 0. So we treat this constant as 0 in its derivative. So the two of them here are 0. I can as well write it